been a long road since the original Kicker christened that first pickup truck. It kicked off a car audio renaissance, and upgrading your music in a vehicle was a requirement. America's music machines became living loud over your passion, your emotion, your existence. Outdoors or on the open road, your sound is Kicker.
We're here at the Denso NHRA 4-Wide Nationals here in Las Vegas. Man, we have got two-time funny car, top fuel champion, Cruz Pedregon here, icon of the sport. Dude, we just so appreciate you taking the time. But I got to ask you, so we know in 1986 you were driving go-karts, and a year later you're in a dragster. What made that change of going from wanting to do, track racing to running down straight track racing?
I started out with something I could afford, so there was a little dirt track, or a few dirt track races in Southern California that I started racing. Like I said, I could afford it. They're still expensive, but I always had my eye on drag racing. So I caught the eye of an owner that had a low budget team, started out very humble beginnings. I basically worked for food. I worked to race for nothing. So, but I started out, you couldn't have started out further down the ladder than I did, but I'm glad I did because I was able to parlay that into driving for a bigger team through the years, won a championship, and here we are. I own my own team. I've been in business for like 15 years now, or 20 years on my own with Snap-on and Kicker and all the great sponsors. So, very exciting time.
Cruz, we know you're super passionate about what you do. We're curious, what drives you, what refuels you off the track when you're at home?
Well, I have a daughter now, so it's I just love my daughter. She's going on 8 years old, so priorities change a little bit, but I've always had this passion for racing, so much so that that's all I would do morning, noon, and night. I would think about it when I got up. I go to bed at night. Racing was my entire life, and it still is, but I share a little bit of that during the off time with my daughter Raya and my girlfriend Melissa. So, it's one of those things where the desire to perform at this level and to do it, I feel like I have my best years ahead of me. I have so much more experience than I did when I started out that I want to put that to good use. So here we are.
That's awesome. Well, man, I tell you, Kicker is super proud to be associated with you. We're blessed to be part of the team and helping out. And hey, now that we've got this killer PA system back here jamming the pits, what's that mean for you and your team and your guests and everybody in your organization?
Well, having a brand like Kicker, number one, is an honor for us. Really, I know it's a brand that goes way back. Heck, we've all heard of them. So for them to be, you guys support us like you do is really an honor for us. but we want to do our part on the racetrack and you know, and put your guys' name out there. But as far as what you guys just created for us was really cool. I didn't have any idea the quality of sound with all the noise, all the race cars starting, all the voices and all the generators running, that we could still hear loud and clear the PA system. So thanks to KICKER, great product, you know, and we have a lot of Snap-on guests that are invited to come out here as part of the customer service to say thank you to the Snap-on customers for buying the tools. So it's a great opportunity for us to speak to them but not have to yell. So so they appreciate it. Like I say, the brand speaks for itself. It's quality. So you know, we're tickled to have them.
Well, thank you so much, man. Look, look, after 32 some years of blasting down the track, pulling 4Gs, what keeps you pushing to do this, man?
You know, it's amazing because you never get used to these cars. Like, my eyes still burn like everybody else. They're still loud, but they accelerate. Every run is like a new run. You never know what they're going to do, but I feel like I have a little bit less stress because I kind of know what the car is supposed to do and what it feels like to make a good run. So, like I said, as a driver, yeah, I've got a few miles on me, but I think in this sport, you can still be a little older and still be able to perform at a high level. So that's what I look at as you know, I don't feel like I'm a deficient guy in this driver's seat. If anything, I hope I can bring something to it. But the day's going to come, hey, I'm an owner and I have a fast car. The day's going to come where, hey, I'm going to want to look at a younger driver and somebody, you know, to replace me so I can maintain ownership and maybe tune that guy into a championship or gal, whoever. So, but it's a business. I look at it as a business. It has to make sense down the road, but I'm not looking, I'd say another 4 or 5 years in this seat, I'm good.
Hey, I know you're running tight on time. You got a last qualifying run. Again, we're blessed to be with you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
We love you, brother.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
See you.
Flash! This just in. Extra low frequencies detected emanating from the heavens. Saucer-shaped objects confirmed all over the world. Unidentified flying K saucers spotted delivering KICKER's amazing new Comp Q super woofer. Built for precision, built for abuse, built for the future and benefit of mankind. KICKER's new Comp Q woofer leaves audiences astounded and amazed as it reveals subtleties in their favorite music in a way that is sure to make women blush and grown men cry. The surround features KICKER's variable cross-section high-roll design, allowing extended cone travel and excellent cone control. It's firmly attached to the cone, reinforced with our iconic stitching. Betsy Ross would be so proud. The injection-molded solo cone and laser X cone brace combined in a single ultra-rigid unit. Venting in the brace relieves performance-robbing back pressure. All this adds up to very low distortion and amazingly clean low bass. The progressive roll blue lace spider adds even more cone control at maximum excursion. The woven tinsel leads are sandwiched between the spider and the lace for durability and long life and to prosper. The spring terminal's heavy-duty square design accepts wires as big as 8-gauge or two 12-gauge wires for multi-sub installations. The high-temp voice coil is rumored to be spun upon the looms of the gods of polyamide fiberglass, along with a reinforced former for high strength and power handling. Now, add colossal magnets, plus a cavernous bump back plate, an extended pole piece created in a single forging, the likes that haven't been seen since the creation of Poseidon's trident. And the result is a driver with superior control and effective heat dissipation that extreme performance demands. The all-new KICKER Comp Q is designed from the ground up to deliver everything you demand from a premium subwoofer. High output, deep, powerful, accurate bass, remarkably small enclosure requirements, stunning good looks, and not to mention the ability to frighten small children when turned up to 11. So there you have it. The all-new KICKER Comp Q subwoofer. Another zenith of innovation and epic majesty from KICKER.
I built my first speaker to be louder. I was playing in a band and the drummer played so loud and the keyboard that I had wouldn't play very loud, and I went to my dad and said, I need a bigger speaker. It's a Fender Bandmaster, it costs $300. He dropped the newspaper. It said, $300? Yeah, but he didn't say no. He said, is it something that we could build? And so that's how I got started building speakers. The thing that I love to see is a product that we made and get to stand back kind of anonymously and watch somebody take a look at it, listen to it, and go, wow. I think that's what really lights my fires, to make products that people enjoy and have fun with. As time went on, I heard people say, you know, KICKER's like a family. I actually didn't set out to do that. I thought it sounded kind of hokey. I thought they were insincere and just saying that. After a few years, I realized, yeah, maybe that's what we've got. And that's the key, is the good people on your team in the band that makes the band really great. Well, I think KICKER is primarily a lifestyle company. That's a little backwards of where I started. I thought we were a technology company and we would make great products, but as time went on, realized that it's about people and helping people to enjoy their life and what they do. And that's what I do, too. So share the love a little bit, I guess.
Mike and it. Mike and Ike. Wait, that's welcome. It is Tuesday night. What time is it? 7:30 Central Time.
7:30.
And it's about 40 hertz. No, I mean, I'm Aaron Malin at KICKER Tech Force, and I'm the 40 hertz guy. You heard it first. And this is Mr. John Myers. Of course, you guys know John now. And you're probably saying,
It's like deja vu. It feels like I've been here just a week ago.
hey, I am not Ken.
You're not. And you're not, who else?
Kip.
You're not Kip either.
And
Sorry, guys.
y'all are wondering, well, where's Kip? Well, you may have seen Kip popped in for just a second. Kip is extending his vacation.
Yeah, unintentionally, we might add.
Yes, he's on the I-35 vacation tour.
So if he was coming from Dallas, I would venture to guess that was American kind of sidelined his travel plans. So rather than sailing through the blue skies or the gray skies, which they have been all day, looks like he's doing some windshield time.
Now, it is possible that Kip may pop in fashion that only Kip can pop in and just kind of sneak up on us and say, hey, what's going on? I'm Kip. But we'll see if that happens. We're just not sure at this point.
He's a heck of a trooper to even, drive back after being on vacation all weekend. Last thing we do is drive for 4.5 hours.
His lovely wife is with him, too. And we suspect that she might be the reason that he's no longer with us on the split
screen.
No, she's going to kill you now.
Wouldn't be the first time.
So I've got notes in front of me since I don't do this a lot, so I'm going to go through some notes here. We're supposed to talk about what we had for dinner. Oh, wait, no, but before that, we're going to talk about who had dinner with us, right, John?
Oh, might as well.
So we've got Tim.
Talk about all the things I forgot to talk about last week.
We got Tim on camera 2. Tim flexing. Man, that guy's menacing. And then way back there, we've got JW, who I know him as just Jeremy Wynn, but apparently goes by JW. Oh, there's the Bill.
Yep, there's Bill Frog.
Bill Frog.
JW to his left, and Ernie back there on the far left-hand side.
Wait, Bill, what does that T-shirt read? Bill? Base Wars.
There you go.
Earlier, Bill had it in a certain hang where it didn't say Base Wars. It said something else, but I'll let you figure that out. So
I don't want to know.
That's who we got in studio tonight. And dinner, we had Cafe Mona for dinner.
Which, that's actually my wife and our favorite place. We love it. We're there at least once a week, so we're not telling her that that's what I had catered tonight, because she'll be a little jealous, because I think she had a leftover sandwich.
Oh, well, but her sandwiches are good, so I'd eat them leftover.
Yeah, they are. But
sure.
Still, I got Cafe Mona and she got a leftover.
And I had the chili verde, and I made that specific decision because I thought, I really want to do the chorizo, but if I'm going to be on camera for an hour and a half, I probably don't need chorizo in my belly. So, oh, wait, what? I had a sighting.
Saw something there.
Oh,
my God, there he is.
Hey, kid.
What's going on, guys?
How the heck are you, Mr. Road Warrior?
Well, I was actually watching a little bit earlier, and the data is really bad, so if I drop out, I apologize. But Paula's here with me, and yeah, our flight out of Dallas back to Stillwater American got booted to the side, so we rented a car, and we're hauling tail back to Stillwater. I don't think we'll make it back in time for the show, but I thought I'd at least stop in and say hello. How's everybody doing?
It's always nice to see you. We're doing great. And like I say, you just drive safe, because we need you back here in the facility as safe and ready to go as possible. But I bet you got a little recovery to do. You always need a vacation after your vacation, don't you? Just to recover from vacating.
This vacation deserves another vacation, but I'll take work as a vacay any day.
You and me both. So well, we're just glad you're safe and well and on your way back to see us, because we always need your wonderful tutelage here.
Hey, Paula, you want to say anything? No.
She's out. No comment.
Kip, you're a brave man.
Too funny.
You know what, guys? JW, he can set me to the side here. I'm just going to stay tuned in and watch the show as much as I can and drive safely. And I said to say hello. You guys are doing a great job, and I look forward to being back in the studio and seeing everyone next Tuesday night.
Sounds good. Drive safe, and we'll see you when we see you.
Bye, Litzies.
Take care, Paula.
Oh, that was great. As he pops in. So, we didn't ask what they had for dinner.
Oh, well, he may not have had dinner.
Low blood sugar.
Too frustrated to eat dinner. Been there, done that. The joy of air travel.
Speaking of air travel, we got some stuff to give away, which apparently is some really, really cool stuff. Three winners tonight, and we've got the number 3 winner gets a set of EB300s. which are our Bluetooth earbuds.
Bluetooth earbuds.
I've got 2 sets of those, one my wife loses and one that I keep. We've got a gray Unmasked t-shirt, that one right back there, and then 2 koozies for the beverage of your choice.
One for each thumb.
I don't know that would work so well.
They got a hole in the bottom, so.
But actually, those are the same prizes for 3 and for 2. And the first prize winner also gets a key LOC. Now, did you and Ken talk about this last week?
Oh, yeah.
You did?
We sure did.
Okay.
In fact, Kip's done a whole presentation on that. It's one heck of a piece, guys. If you haven't seen the presentation, go back and look at it. If you're going to ever upgrade a car audio system and you're leaving the factory head unit in place, you have to have a key lock. It is the only piece on the market that's going to completely restore that signal to a baseline that you can use to build an incredible audio system.
We just did a training. Ken and I were just in Phoenix, Arizona last week doing a training on this, and we had this great demo setup that Ken built, and we've got a OEM amplifier, an OEM radio, and then the signal coming out of the OEM amplifier is going into the key LOC and then coming out the other end. And so we just took a very simple homemade real-time analyzer that Mr. John Myers showed us how to make that cable a couple times. And we just took that and we could see the input versus the output. So you see the signal coming into the key LOC and it's RTA'd or it's equalized for the factory installed speakers. Well, the problem is if you add aftermarket speakers to that signal, it's not going to sound like you expect it to. So the key LOC takes that signal, cleans it up, it takes away time correction, takes away all pass filters, basically anything that alters the true stereo signal, it sends it out the other side pristine and clean. So now you can add any brand of amplifiers, hopefully it's Kicker, any brand of amplifier to get proper output. Nice and magic.
Yep, love it.
So someone's going to win one of those tonight.
On top of the other things.
On top of the other things,
yep,
that's
so
right.
You get that as well.
Bill's got something to say.
Uh-oh.
Never said anything on the microphone, must be important.
Bill's got something to say, I hear.
So guys,
Come on, Bill, we're waiting for you.
Read the magical email that was sent out? The one that said...
I don't know, he's not talking to any of us, so... We might have to come back to Bill since we seem to have some technical difficulties.
They can't...
Bill Frog, you're being too quiet back there. But anyway, while we're waiting for him to figure it out...
What? Email? What? No.
The prizes are on the email.
Prizes are on the email.
Tell them what we're giving away, Bill.
What? Tell us, Bill, what is it?
Bill's not telling us anything. We're going to come back to that here in just a little bit. All right.
Duct tape Bill. So, moving right along. So, tonight.
That was fun.
Welcome
to live TV.
The contest that Bill's not talking about goes till 8:30. So, you've got until 8:30. You got to go to kicker.com/giveaway. Is it backslash? No, backslash. Backslash. We've been talking houses earlier. He just built a house. So backslash giveaway. Kicker.com.
I didn't build it.
Well, you're going to have to by the time it's done.
Yeah.
And that's where the free stuff happens. So you have until 8:30 tonight, Central Time, to go ahead and sign up for that. Oh, and by the way, if you're Canadian like me and you're living in Canada, unlike me, you can still win stuff because our partner up there, Gemsen is handling the giveaways for Canada. So if you guys are up in Canada, like Conrad, I know you're probably watching tonight, you guys can win stuff too. So be sure to hop
is probably
on.
watching. My buddy Bryce Lewis.
Bryce?
He's probably watching.
Bryce, if you're watching,
Avid Kicker fan.
say hello up here so we can see you. So that's what we're giving away. Don't listen to Bill.
No.
What? Somebody shouting at us?
Kicker.com/UMweekly for tonight's prize.
Oh, man.
Kicker.com/UMweekly.
So the email that I printed is wrong. So who did the show
the
prep?
bottom scroll. Enter the Unmasked contest. Kicker.com/weekly. Contest ends at 8:30 tonight. That's how you enter to win those great prizes. And we are going to let somebody else talk about the other grand prize.
We're not being invited back.
No.
I'm not being invited back. Okay.
Let's just keep going. 'Cause
This is the last night for me.
I think we need to let our special guest mention something else about the grand prize.
So, speaking of special guest, who is a special guest, John?
I think we got Brian Schmidt from Mobile Solutions. I think he's hanging in the wings back there.
Brian's in the green room. And
Brian's in the house.
He's just going, guys, come on, man, really? so who is Brian?
I'm blaming you. Normally we don't have this problem, just when you're on the show.
It's
that's
40
what you
hertz.
get for hosting.
That's the problems. So, who is Brian Schmidt?
Well, Brian Schmidt, if you guys don't know, anybody that does car audio installs probably has heard of the name Brian Schmidt Mobile Solutions. Brian has absolutely carved the most unique niche out of any industry I've ever seen. This guy basically has everything for the installer, from tools to methods to schools. So I don't want to get too involved in talking about what he does. I'm going to let him tell everything about it. But Brian's been one of my friends for many years, and he's such an integral part of this whole entire audio community. I mean, the things he's brought to the table, the lessons he's taught, and the tools that he's really have shaped car audio as we know it today, and especially in the last probably 5 to 10 years. It's been pretty amazing. So you pretty much can tell when you look at an install, someone's been schooled by Brian because of the detail, the craftsmanship, the work, the way it's all put together. So I think we need to bring up Brian on camera. Brian?
Oh, no, we're not there yet. No, we're not there yet. Oh, what? There, we are there now.
There he is.
All right, Brian, excuse the mess, Brian. Welcome.
How are you guys? Looks like you're having some fun tonight.
Oh, we're always having fun, and unfortunately, we haven't been drinking yet. That comes after. I just got suckered in buying the first round. I guess that's kind of my own fault because I offer. So, Brian, how are you doing tonight? Where are you coming to us from?
Tempe. We're in Tempe, Arizona. This is our little shop. And, thanks for having me. I'm super honored. And let's have some fun tonight. It's going to be good.
We're going to. And, you say little shop. I've been there. It's not a little shop. It's definitely packed with some really, really cool stuff. But I think we need to, do a little bit of digging back into the who is Brian thing before we let you talk about everything else. We kind of want to get a background on you because, like I say, you and I have been friends for many years. But, Brian, how did you get involved? I mean, what did you start out doing, in high school? What was your path that led you to this point?
John, it's probably similar to your story. It was
not bad, huh?
Well, it was my fascination for music and bass, and I know we've all remember that first time that you heard bass in a car, and it absolutely just blew me away. And I think some of my first woofers were some KICKER comps, to be honest with you. Yeah, and back then it was pretty amazing. I absolutely had the loudest car stereo in my high school, and that's what I was known for. So it was way back then, and I went to school for mechanical engineering. Was going to be my grown-up job, but here we are. I love what I do, and through the years I've worked through lots of different jobs, manufacturers, retail, and
tell us what all you've done. I mean, give us your whole background. We want to put some credibility to this, and and you can say brands, you can say we just want to know where you came from, and this will let the guys know, the knowledge and skills that you've developed, and that you're actually teaching people about.
For sure. So I grew up in Salt Lake City, Utah, and that's really, I went to school there, went to high school, and that's back when the IASCA and USAC was really big, and competing was, it was really cool. It was very prestigious, and so I worked at a shop called the Hi-Fi Shop. A good friend of mine, Greg Cobbs, and and others. Yeah, so we decided we were going to build the loudest car stereo on the planet, and this was a horrible idea.
About what year was that?
This has got to be like 92, 93, and
so back when 140s were like really loud.
Really loud, and it was a lot of fun. So we went to I remember going to Tulsa and seeing a lot of the KICKER guys and going to the competitions, and I just thought, you know what, I love this. I love what we do, and I just wanted to push myself to get better and better. And we were working retail the whole time, and we would just keep going to these shows, and started going to CES and started seeing some of these, national and international shows. and really getting exposure to what people are doing on a larger community. And that just inspired me to do more and more and to push myself. I got a great job at Rockford early on in my 20s, and that was fun. It was fun. I got to travel the world, build lots of cool stuff, and I worked there for about 7 years. And I left there, and I went up to Seattle, and I worked for a really prestigious retailer called Innovative Audio. And let me tell you guys,
I remember those guys.
These guys, and it's called Benchmark today, but some of the most wealthiest clients in the world, Bill Gates,
Some of the Apple executives.
yeah, Paul Allen. And I really learned how to run a business and understand the business side of it. So it was a great experience. I was up there for about 3 years, and that's when Mobile Solutions was born. I just had a lot of guys still calling me from earlier days when we did training at Rockford, and I just said, hey, you know what, we can still do that. And pretty humble beginnings, John. I was working out of my garage, going to door and basically shops, doing classes. And it was tough, and it was at a time when the economy wasn't great and fabrication was not cool back then. It was just it wasn't the cool thing to do, but I really saw my vision, and we started with really unemployment and a credit card, and fast forward to today, 15 years later, we have 400 SKUs, 6 patents, and we sell in about 12 different countries globally. So
that's incredible.
So pretty humble beginnings. I don't never forget where I'm from, and all the people along the way. That we're a great community, and I think friendships and relationships are everything in our industry. 100%.
Yeah, and it helps build, the family bond, and I've told this story before, and I'm not sure if I've told it on camera, but I remember going to a Mira event, which we got another one coming up next weekend in Dallas. But I remember being in Kansas City, and I was sitting with Jay Small from Rockford, Manville from JL. We had Grizz Archer from MTX, and I was sitting there, we're having lunch. And we're all eating lunch, and these 2 guys walk in, with their trays. It was kind of the cafeteria style, like the elementary school, sitting at the tables. And these guys walk in with their trays. They look at us. They just have this look on their face like, and one of them looks at us and says, "What are you guys doing?" We're having lunch. He's like, "But you hate each other." It's like, no, we don't hate each other. We just work for different companies. So, it's one of those things that, I've got some of my best friends in the world are in this industry, and because we've met in this industry and because we're so tightly knit, it just works out. You learn from each other. I mean, we all work together. We all communicate back and forth, and, you need to keep the whole industry alive, because you can't, build yourself on an island, because sooner or later that island's going to sink. And you need some flotation around you to help keep it going.
Yeah.
So it's really the camaraderie that's so awesome.
It is. We're all one family, and we all put our pants on the same way. So let's just have fun.
You wear pants? No, sorry.
No, actually,
it's hard to tell from that picture. There we go. All right. Yeah, we're doing the same thing.
I'm in
See my
Phoenix.
white Mia.
It's 180 degrees outside. Are you kidding?
I was going to ask how hot it was there, but yeah, I'm sure it's pretty warm there. So yeah, you've really, worked your way up, and I think, this was not handed to you. You didn't just jump in and take it over. You built this, whole, Mobile Solutions from the ground up, and that's what makes it so awesome. That's what makes it yours, and, that's, really what we want to talk about. So, you mentioned about, 400 plus SKUs. Give the guys an idea that don't know. First of all, tell them the website, where they can go to look at the products, and just give me kind of a rough breakdown of categories of just the installation accessories and tools that you offer, because it's pretty huge. Don't have to tell us everything, but just just give us a good overview and your website.
So the website is mobilesolutions-usa.com, and that's our main site. And what we're really known for it is our templates. So our router templates and router devices is really what we're known for. I feel like this is something that we've pioneered, from many, many years ago. And the idea is, it's very simple, is to just take a process and simplify it, increase efficiency, and have a more, finished product at the end. And if we can help do that by shaving an hour, 2 hours, a half a day off of a build, I mean, that's a win. So if we have really cool templates and arcs and automotive shapes that have cool design cues that can help guys build things cool and faster and really have a process. You know, there's not a lot of formal training in our industry. We're all just kind of self-proclaimed rock stars because we said we are on Facebook. But let's really go back to the science of it and look into composites and metalworking and fabrication on many skill levels. And what I think that we do really well on teaching our guys is we break that process down. Complicated things are broken down into simple steps, and it works. And you like you said earlier in the show, you can see the influence. You know, we've trained tens of thousands of guys over the years, about 2,000 to 3,000 a year. Yeah, for before the pre-pandemic, where it was thousands a year. And we'll get back to that when the timing's right. But you know, so back to kind of our tools. The router templates is kind of our main thing. Router accessories, things, safety devices. We have a lot of different custom router
Safety,
bits.
this is car audio. Are you kidding? Really? Safety?
Yeah. Safety
I think I got
second.
all my fingers.
Yeah, that's important. There we go. You know, just I think things to just speed that process up. And I'm all about efficiency and really thinking smarter. And that's what, you know, everything is got to be clever. It's got to have multi-purpose. And that's our kind of our goal when we're designing things that you cannot buy at Home Depot or just off the shelf. It's special, and it's special to our industry. And that's what we want to strive for is really pushing that envelope. And any new products that you see, you're going to see more of that. They're very clever. They're very specific in that mindset. You know, some of the newer stuff, I'll just show you one right here. This is super cool. This is something that the hot rod industry and a lot of guys are loving. This is a magnet set. So what it does is it actually is a 4-inch bit that's undersized exactly for 1/4 inch, 3/8, half-inch magnets. So you have to have compression to smash those magnets in. And guess what? You've got a little magnet puck here that actually has the polarity marked right on it, north and south. So you can't get the magnets wrong. Just stuff like that. So when I say clever, we do mean it, because this is a whole set. There's a video behind it, but it helps guys walk through that process and makes things that are complicated or you know, it can be confusing, very simple. And it's production. We call it production high end, making money. And if you have the right tools, whoever has the right tools wins, right?
Yeah, the tools make the job, and they make the job better. And, you know, like you said, you know, I think, you know, that's how you and I actually met, because I was looking for stuff to do things and special tools and special materials. And you know, that's when I came across you. And that's, I think, how we kind of actually got to know each other, you know, working on some of our show vehicles at KICKER, because we had these, you know, dreams of how we want them to look. And we knew we needed to get there, but we needed certain supplies and materials. And, you know, like you say, you know, you could take all your router templates and you can configure them different ways. I mean, you don't have to do cookie cutter what everyone else is doing, and that's what makes this industry so much fun. And in fact, you know, I always joke with people, there's 3 different ways to put in the same car audio system in the same car. You can just put it in so it works. You can do everything stealth, which is where you hide everything, which is actually one of the most difficult. Or there's, you know, pretty much, you know, there's no limits, you know, whatever you can do or whatever you can finance your customer for, I used to say. And that's what makes, you know, your tool so great, because there's no limit. You're not constrained to just doing the same thing every time. And even if you're doing custom work with those tools, with, you know, the router templates and the custom router bits and, you know, the safety things, not only are you doing custom work, but the fit and finish is so much better than if you know, just tried to make something on your own. So it really takes a lot of the guesswork out of it and a lot of the effort. It allows us to go out there and do these, you know, high-end installs that, you know, pretty much it's just time and labor. It's not really complicated, and that's what makes, you know, your tools so nice. They're easy to use, and your schools that teach you how to do that, it's absolutely great. And I will say, you know, for many, many years, I was kind of the anti-Facebook guy. You know, just really did not like Facebook. You know, I get on it once in a while, you know, every couple days. But to be honest, there's one thing that Facebook has done, and I think it's for this industry. It's really, you know, perpetuated the high-end installs, because everyone's trying to outdo everyone else. I guarantee to pretty much everybody on some like Carbide Cult and some of these other sites, the Clean Wire Club. They're all using what tools? Mobile solution tools. I mean, everyone's using it. I mean, you really have made a huge impact on this industry. And you can look at a vehicle and right away where the guy got the tools to build it, because they're that good, they're that perfect, that clean every time.
I have a question.
Thank you, John.
Can I jump in? So I am not the world-class installer that John is, and
I'm not either.
Well,
not anymore. Not with all you guys and your tools.
He's being modest. But I'm looking at some of these beautiful pictures on your website, because I got it pulled up here. And obviously the stuff you're doing is gorgeous. And I'm wondering how much acoustics are guys learning coming out of your school too, like tweeter placement, mid-range placement. Are you dealing with that kind of setup as well in your school?
We do. Great question. We spend a lot of time on SQ, on level setting and looking at bandwidth limited channels and really looking at speaker placement. I think that's super important. It does depend on the class. And a lot of time we're partnering up with manufacturers. We're like Switzerland. We love everybody, but it depends on the class we're teaching. But I love great audio, and it's got to be done right. And speaker placement and having that balance, I think, is super important. And understanding, picking the right components and just the whole setup, I think, is really important. So to answer your question, we absolutely teach that. It's not just all arts and crafts, some science, and and it's I think sound quality is very important. The older I get, the more balanced I am. My power ratio was probably 2,000 watts on bass and 500 on my mids and highs, and now it's it's probably just the opposite now. Tons of headroom, and bass is easy to make. Headroom, 1,000 watts on my front end. That's perfect. So yeah.
I'm glad you answered that question as you did, because we've all been in the industry a long time, and we've all sat in a car that looks amazing and sounds horrible. And we think, man, you've spent so much time and money on this car, but it doesn't sound good.
Yeah, it's not a natural thing. You have to know how to do it. You have to know how to set up and tune things. And, there are very, very few classes that do anything. And, Brian obviously is one of the guys out there that does teach this. And if you guys want to learn, there's no better people to learn from than Brian and his group. They are awesome.
Yeah, what? Just to add to that, guys, you see this Master Tech logo up here, just at the very top. That when we say Master Tech, we want to encompass everything, not just arts and crafts, not just fab. It's really the whole encompassing thing in learning electrical, acoustic stuff, the science of it, and then building it really cool and at the highest level. And just that execution at the highest level on every skill set is our goal. That's what we mean by Master Tech. So I just kind of want to reiterate that. Sometimes people get lost in the arts and crafts for sure.
Yeah, well, we're definitely going to come back to that Master Tech Expo in a few minutes. But give us a little breakdown of what your courses are, what the classes are that guys can come out to Arizona and take from you. What different types of courses?
So over the years, I can kind of speak historically, because we have a shift, and I will tell you about what's currently happening. But historically, we've done classes that are called boot camps, which it's a 3-day class, and it does encompass a day of electrical, acoustic stuff, some production stuff on how to build boxes, and maybe some electrical troubleshooting. That's a class in itself. We have one on hot rod and just a hot rod build. So we'll have a classic car, a C10 here, and we'll restore something in a hot rod, maybe do a console or something. And then other classes that are very specific, subwoofer design. We do a whole thing on subwoofers, and I've had some amazing people come in to help with some of these classes. We've done some on business classes. We've done, one on just door panels specifically on speaker placement and how to do custom doors. And then how to sell it. I always like to talk about, for you retailers, how to show it. In this picture right here, it's showing 3 different levels of good, better, and best. And that's why it says best on there, because we're showing 3 different levels of trim. It's the same exact panel, the same geometry, but the finishes are more complex, and that takes time. So
and that's what the creativity allows you to do.
Exactly. And so we want to show how to sell that to your customer, how to show your craft in a way that you can make money with. This is super important to show it as well. So that's why we have these miniature props, is they're really displays for kind of stores to look at. We do tons of stuff with welding and metalwork, routing aluminum, sheet metal, TIG welding, MIG welding, plasma. That's our welding table. And this is our shop right here. If you look at it, everything is on wheels. It's almost like Cirque du Soleil. We change our scenery every session. It's a 2-hour session, and that whole shop will change from this to the next one will be fiberglass and carbon fiber with all of our resins laid out with all different tables. It's really cool. There's cameras and TVs so you can see it. It's awesome. There's some DNA, some class, Tom Miller, some other guys that are part of our community, just world-class people helping and contributing to, the effort of raising the bar.
Well, we always like high bars, as long as we can reach them.
Speaking of high bars, I got another question I'd like to ask you. When we travel and do trainings, one of the topics I love to talk about is subwoofer enclosures. And I will always ask a class, what is more important, the woofer you choose or the enclosure you build for that woofer?
Or the amp that you put with it. Well, give a 3-part question.
Well, I'm just interested in the two. I want to hear what Brian has to say. So Brian, woofer enclosure, what do you think?
It's always going to be the enclosure. You could put a $3 woofer in the right enclosure and it'll sound right. It's all about the acoustics.
Yep, it really is, and it's knowing how to apply them. Now, we keep talking about your classes for professional installers in the industry, but are they just for the installers in the industry, or can a consumer take any of your classes?
Yeah, I would say a serious consumer. We love the DIY guys. We like the fabrication guys, the upholstery shops, other builders in other industries. It's about 50-50. So I would say if you're serious and you want to really get into it and you have the desire and the passion, that's what you need right there. So,
and that's most of it.
That's a lot of it. I can teach you the rest.
And and you're right, and you definitely can. And also, we keep talking about, car audio, but you mentioned just a minute ago about, the street rod stuff. So your classes are not just, for the audio guys. I know there's a lot of hot rod builders that, and high-end upholstery shops. I mean, one of my good friends, Tracy Weaver, I've known for 35 years. I mean, he and I worked side by side in Nebraska, when I had my store, and he was doing upholstery in the shop right next door. And, we lost touch of each other for like 25 years. And and here that Facebook thing goes again. But I ran into Tracy on Facebook, and I said, "Hey, what are you doing?" He said, "Let me send you some pictures." I looked at it, it's like, holy crap! You really have gone a long way from back when we were in this little exhaust shop in the back room doing stuff. So it's just cool to see people can grow, and with your tools, it gives people the ability to take their imagination and their dreams and make it reality if they have the desire and the willingness to learn, and that's what a lot of it is. But you make it fun to learn and easy.
Yeah. Thank you. It's all about just connecting the dots. If you can break it down into a simple process, and guys, just don't get overwhelmed. It really can be simple, and you break it down and walk through that process, and you stick to it every time. That's your recipe, and then you apply your recipe every time, and then you just push it a little bit more, and then you get better and better. Your skill set, it only improves if you put time into it.
Yep, and you're right. Just keep doing things. You get better every time. And it's just like, you guys out there, especially you newer installers, you'll realize right away the first time you do a car, it's going to take you about 4 times longer than the next time you do it, because where all the bolts are, what tools you need, the process, what pieces have to come off in what order. And I think, that's what you do with, the installation side of it. You give them the steps, the building blocks start here, this step, this step, this step, or you can, kind of split and go, this direction. So it's really cool and a lot of fun. And like I say, pretty much, there's nobody in the industry that has, put the tools out there and the schooling out there. I mean, there's been some other install schools we've dealt with, but no one to the caliber that you're doing it. So like I say, it's really kind of our honor to have you on here tonight. And it's definitely, something that I really, I'm bad. I admit it. I still haven't had a chance to get out there to sit through any of Brian's classes. He keeps inviting me, and I keep threatening to go. But darn,
you're busy.
The work schedule gets in the way.
Good stuff.
I got another question for you, Brian. So there's a lot of guys and girls watching right now that are certainly not at your level and John's level. And let's say they want to buy one tool from your website, just kind of really figure out what it is that you do best. What would be the one tool that someone's going to buy that you would suggest tonight?
Oh, man.
It could be a group, too. I think I know where it's going with that.
Yeah, okay, a group.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess you got to pick the category. If you're wanting to get into maybe some router stuff, we do have like a really basic kit. It's like 3 bits, and there's a video. And you watch the video, you use the 3 bits, and you're golden. It's awesome. It's right here. You use these 3 bits, and you can make any type of circle, ring, shape that you want. Now, if you're talking about acoustics, we actually have, and I think John would agree with me on this one, we have a polarity tester that every person should have, because sometimes your ears are out of phase.
Well, it's really amazing how many people cannot tell things are in phase or out of phase. And I tell you what, from back in my early days of doing car audio, back from the very early 80s, you get in cars and, people have problems with cars, so I get them. The first thing you do, you start checking simple things. Balance and fader.
Yeah.
If that is wrong, it's like, how did this car leave another shop? Or, when the balance and the fader aren't even correct. But like you say, the polarity is, right up there in probably the top 3 of important things to make sure it's correct. If you don't have, things like that correct, you can't tune it. You cannot get that vehicle to sound good, no matter what you do, no matter how expensive gear you put into it.
Very true. Very true. We actually have a new piece that checks the electrical signature and the acoustic side. So it actually will read polarity on the input, and then it'll read it acoustically on the output, and it'll tell you if it's red or green. It's really cool. So that's new. It's cool.
I'm on your website. Where do I find that so I can show the audience?
So go under electrical and acoustic. The electrical acoustic session.
Got it.
Yep, and scroll down a little bit. There's 2 ones. It's that one second one in on the bottom row. That's it. Yep, and that guy is called the PT9A Plus, and it comes with a USB, and you can download the test tones from our site. You can use the USB. CDs are dead. And it
hey.
Yeah, I know, John.
Still listen to CDs.
I know. I love
Vinyl.
CDs too. The technology is gone.
I know you're talking to the masses, and you're right. I mean, digital is definitely the mainstream, and there was a time when digital was really a bad thing. It was really awful, but it's getting so much better. And like I say, they're doing some good stuff to make it more acoustically friendly. Let's call it. Yeah.
Hey, why don't we do something right now? Go back to that polarity tester. I'll tell you what, guys. If you guys buy this tonight, after the show, because I'll need to update the site. If you put in KICKER in the coupon code, that will be $99. How's that?
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome. So what is that? I can't even see what the price is up there. I guess
$124.
Yeah, so $25. Geez, that's 25% off. That's awesome, Brian.
That's a cool piece. I think you guys will like it. That is an awesome piece, and it is a must-have for every single install. You cannot tell me different.
Well, and I will tell you, firsthand, I actually have 2 vehicles that, we could never get to tune and image and stage right, and come to find out that the left dash speaker is intentionally wired out of polarity at the factory. So even if you follow everything by the YouTube video, what wire colors or whatever you download off Google, it just didn't tune. And that was my Dodge Journey and my Charger. They decided to wire that left dash speaker out of polarity, even though you follow plus and minus by everything in the books. It is out of polarity, and that's the only way we found it was with the polarity checker.
100%. So cool
That's
stuff.
a nice gift, Brian. Thank you.
Yep,
you bet, guys.
That's an awesome bonus for guys that are tuning in. So I know we got a lot of cool stuff. I mean, we could go on for hours with this, but what is your favorite tool? Absolutely, if you had to pick one tool that's your absolute favorite, what would it be?
Well, I'm kind of biased because I designed
Which
it.
is fine.
But it's actually on the TV here.
The one we keep rolling?
Yeah, and it's right here. So what this is called our axis shape creator. And so what it is it's an adjustable template. And if you see everything, these access points, they're kind of loose right now, but there's 4 sections right here, but it allows you to change the geometry. And once you like that geometry, you tighten it down, and then you come in and router it out, just like on the video. And I'll tell you what, this has been a game changer. And I'll tell you why, guys. Because I can make a custom shape every single time. It can have 4 sides. This example on the screen is actually 5-sided shape, and it's really cool. Here, more examples of it is right here. So it builds this inner ring, this outer ring, and the press grill. It does all of that in one shot. Yeah, so just that tool right there. And what's cool is every single time you do it, that shape is going to be different. So it's a game changer. Smart frame system, that's what the SFS stands for. And the access part is how it pivots on those bolt points, and those knobs, they kind of act as safety devices, so you can keep moving them around. But if you really start looking at some of the other geometry that we're talking about, like this panel right here, for example, everything on it was made with it. All these shapes, it's a similar shape. There's 3 sides, 4-sided, 5-sided shapes, and hands down, this is like my favorite tool. So you asked, I'm telling you, and it does work. It works really well. We sell thousands and thousands of these globally.
Now, you alluded earlier that you have a couple patents. Do you have a patent on this one?
We sure do. We sure do.
Because, like I say, you're right. That is an absolutely incredible tool. And it looks like, guys, we're coming up on about 8:11. You got 20 minutes left to sign up for the contest to get those free prizes. Which one? We're going to do the Key LOC. We're going to do the EB300s. We're going to do the koozies, the T-shirts. So make sure you guys get signed up before 8:30 so we can give those 3 different prize levels away. And like I say, don't forget to order the polarity checker, with Brian's, coupon of KICKER tonight. So that's going to save you $25 off that, which is going to be awesome. So let's kind of deep dive into something else that's pretty exciting. How about this Master Tech Expo? I mean, obviously you have your classes both online and in Arizona. You've got all the tools available. But what brought about this Master Tech Expo that's coming up? Tell us a little bit about it, and when and where.
All right, so pretty exciting, and it's been a challenging year and a half of whatever. Last year was pretty forgettable.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there.
And so we had to suspend our classes. And by the way, just a side note, let me wait till after the show. I will update that site immediately. So just don't try the code right now, because that was pretty impromptu.
He's busy now, guys. Let him finish. Let
me finish. I'll update the site.
He might give something else away if you're not careful, if we let him go.
Yeah, we're going to do that. But, back to why is we couldn't do class for a year and a half. And that's terrible. It's just kind of like taking all your friends away. And so I knew that once we started our classes again, we can only hold 25 people. Our building is 8,000 square feet. I only want 25 people here because I want the experience first class. So I knew that we would sell out instantly, and I would have to say no to literally hundreds and hundreds of people. So we started thinking on a bigger scale. Let's do a tent in our parking lot. Let's do something bigger. And
I don't want to be in a tent in a parking lot in Phoenix. Sorry.
Yeah, it's not good. Right now you would melt like a snow cone. But
I have been called snowman. I'm that white.
So that's what's just kind of spawned it, is like, hey, let's do something big. Let's really put some creative thought into this. And I want to make it automotive aftermarket. And it encompasses all of these things that we're talking about: acoustics, electrical, stitching, welding, fabrication, CAD stuff, CNC, reverse engineering. I just had Creaform scanners here today. So we literally want to have this whole mix of people, and it is going to still be small. It will sell out, I promise you. We are actually halfway full, 7 months out.
Yeah,
but
I'm
it's
surprised you're not completely full by now.
It's filling. So it's 4 days. It's next March, okay? Next year, next March 6th through the 9th, okay? And it's in Mesa, Arizona at the convention center. So it's 6-7 months away, and you do have a little bit of time, but I will tell you by SEMA, it's going to be done. We will be exhibiting at SEMA, and it's going to be cool. It's going to be, limited to, 500-600 people, and that's it. So it's not a SEMA, it's not a massive event, but I'm going to tell you what's different about it is the classes are going to be absolutely legitimate. I mean, there's 4 sessions each day, and they build upon each other. Just like college, it's like a 101, a 202, and so on. And that way, the subject matter just gets more complex throughout the day. Different presenters, and we actually have the entire facility. And I'm telling you what, and John knows a little bit about the backstory, and there's going to be some world-class presenters and things that will happen here that are just once in a lifetime. So I recommend you come. We feed you the whole time. We do not want you to leave at all. You stay on campus, okay?
I like being fed, so do we.
Yeah, awesome food. The hotel is connected to it. It's going to be amazing. Our goal is for you to leave absolutely smarter than when you came, and to really have some good content and go, wow, that was inspiring, and to rub elbows, shake hands with the best of the best in the industry. And it's from all different skill sets. It's going to be amazing.
And you're right, the best of the best are going to be there. I've talked to a lot of people, a lot of your presenters, and they're all, as excited as I am about it, and it's going to be really cool. And it's always nice, and that's one of the things that I liked about, doing some of the overhaul in TV shows, is because they brought the best of their industry came to work on those vehicles and put them together. So you're there with the best people, in their field. So what better place to learn? And that's exactly what we're doing with your Master Tech Expo. You're going to have the best of the car audio, the fabricators, upholstery guys, the computer guys. Every bit of it's going to be right under one roof. You can't get any better than that. I'm not going to say this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It's definitely the first-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
There's only one first.
Yep, and this is going to be it. And the cool thing is that, it's only going to get better from here if we keep doing it. So you're definitely going to have to work harder for the next one. And I know you've worked really hard on this one.
It's exciting. It's exciting for sure. And I'd love to tell you who's coming, but in the next, few weeks or so we can definitely share that with you guys.
Yeah, we're going to be there.
You guys are coming. You guys are exhibiting.
Yeah.
And
we're signed up.
Yeah, and we're excited to have you. It's going to be great.
Yep, they can come listen to my bad jokes.
Well, I don't know about that.
No, how cool, but we all got our favorite tools, and that is cool, especially the fact that you built your own. Now, one of the other really cool things you do with router templates is, most people think routers are just two-dimensional, left, right, up, and down, but that's not true, is it, Brian?
No, it's not. And you know what? You can actually do some really crazy stuff safely. And you know what? Let me just show you something here.
Safely.
Where's the fun in that?
Have you met John?
So this right here is a really cool piece. This originally was the concept behind this was from my good friend Mark Fukuda. And Mark, he kind of pioneered this router shield, if you will. So what we've done is taken it kind of to that next level. And if you see these side pieces, well, these side pieces are very cool because it allows you to take that same smart frame system that I just showed you could make shapes with, and you can bolt it onto the side and actually machine stuff while the part is suspended in the air. So you can see it can come up and down, it can tilt front and back, but your part is two-side taped on the bottom, and you want to tape it well so it doesn't come off. But look where your hand position is. Your hand position is on top, and it keeps it up, above the bit. You can come in with a surfacing bit or a straight fluted bit and come in and machine that. It's awesome. So, if you look at some of these pieces that we're making, I mean, they're incredible, and some of them are actually going to be I'm going to say, almost impossible to even do on a CNC just because the way we do it, or even faster. Maybe you could do it on a CNC, but I guarantee you couldn't do it faster because you don't have to have the setup. You can just make it happen. So an adapter plate that has an angle, a dash plate that's concaved or convex, you can do all kinds of really cool stuff with it. So,
Yeah,
no, I got
it's really amazing.
Yeah, I got a cool idea. We should give one away.
Hey, not going to break my. I don't think anybody else is going to complain.
Oh, we got 1 minute to give it away.
We should give
a few more.
We should give this away. So why don't you? I'll let you guys do the
tonight.
Let's do it. You guys, I'll let you do the logistics. But we're gonna give away a full animal set, not the naked, the full one. And the full one means
naked and animals. Is this still a PG show?
It is. It's still a family show. It's just
okay. Just making sure.
Yeah. But
animals.
Yeah. See your bolts come right through the side here, and you can bolt on all those parts and pieces to it. It's really cool. Of course, we have a video. Yeah.
You can't win, dude.
So let's give that away. I'm feeling pretty generous.
Okay.
How about you guys?
Yeah, 10 more
minutes. I think so, absolutely.
Okay.
So what do you think? Do we need to include that in one of our prizes or make that?
That's the grand prize.
That's good. I tell you what, we're going to call that the grand prize because I know that is not a cheap piece of equipment. So Brian, thank you for ponying up the grand prize for tonight.
Thank you.
So we'll still to give away the second and third prize.
All right.
Ernie's shouting at us. What, Ernie?
Yeah, they're telling me, he's like, don't forget about the key lock that we gave away that we weren't supposed to.
This one? It was in the memo you sent me, Ernie.
It's not, definitely not our budget. So I think what we need to do, we need to have, a third prize, which is the third prize, which will be the T-shirt. It's going to be the koozies. It's going to be the EB300s. The second prize will get the EB300s, the T-shirt, and the key lock. And grand prize, I think we're going to let Brian hold that spot all on his own.
The naked animal.
Yep, naked animals. That
all right,
doesn't
guys.
sound right.
Hey, I just got word that we have our coupon code is active now. I want to thank my good friend Mark from CAF. He's helping us tonight a little bit.
Nice.
Yeah, Mark's
Tell
a good
Mark
friend
I
of
said
mine.
Hello. Mark's awesome.
He is awesome. So he's got the code up, and we're ready to go. So you guys can put that in for that PT98. All right,
he's
so
another guy we need to get on the show.
You guys absolutely should. He's super smart guy and a good friend, and he would
And a
love
great
to be on the
presenter.
show. He is. Okay, so you know what? I'm just gonna step to this way, and let's just look at this sign one more time. It is the expo, and we're feeling so generous tonight, right, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're giving away everybody's money, aren't we?
Extra stuff.
I'm waiting for the arrows to come from the side of the stage.
All right, so here's the deal. We want to help you guys, and we want to help your audience and give back to the community. So we want to give one pass, all access to the expo, and it's on us, and we're
Really?
just super excited about it. Yep. So
I don't think you guys realize what an honor that would be.
yeah, it's a $850 admission ticket. So
You're making me feel bad here, Brian. You keep one-upping me.
Let's get our wallets out.
I was going to say, I hope we're going to get somebody. I tell you what, if you're going to do that, if you're going to give someone that high end of a price, which, like I say, it's going to change somebody's life, we definitely want to be a part of that. And I tell you what, they got to get out there, don't they?
They need airfare.
So let's go ahead and pony up. Let's dig into somebody else's budget, not ours, because we don't have one. Let's go ahead and pony up some airfare, and you got to stay someplace, right?
You got to stay at the hotel.
Let's give away a hotel.
On site.
On site, so that they're right next to the expo, like you said, Brian. So the airfare, hotel, you're going to need some spending money and some food, right?
You got to eat something, right, Brian?
What,
you got to eat.
$100? We give them 100?
No. It's
Two?
Phoenix.
Oh, it's you guys are really expensive.
And how many days is it, Brian?
4.
4
days. So at least $300.
Let's do $350.
$350.
So if you're
going once.
Yep. Brian's going to give away the pass to the expo. We'll give you airfare, we'll give you spending money, and we'll give you hotel accommodations. Basically, the only thing we're not going to cover is your clothing, unless you buy clothing off that $350, and ground transportation. I mean, if you want to take a limo, a taxi, whatever you want.
No.
Like I say, everything else is on us. So I think this is going to be a
Wow.
game changer for someone. And then what I want to do, and of course I haven't asked Kip or any of the guys, so I'm just going to say this up front. So once it's on camera, they can't go back. You didn't tell us. I think we need to get the winner on the show live.
Yes.
So he needs to tell us how exciting it was, how important, and what he learned.
Yes.
And tell how much he loves us, because,
Yes.
I love it.
But that's awesome, Brian. That is so cool.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you guys. Boy, everybody's stepping up tonight, huh? Just throwing money around.
Yep. Yeah. They're back there. They're like, thanks a lot for spending our money, guys.
Wait, okay, now we need a recap.
Well,
so we're going to fly you there. We're going to pay for your hotel. We're going to give you $350 bucks.
$350 to spend any way you see fit.
So $350 plus 3 days of the expo included. 4 days. 4 days. So everything in one package. Is that right, Brian? That's everything?
Yeah, now, I think we probably want to give people plenty of chance to sign up for this, don't we? So we want to drag this out a little while. Because this is definitely the biggest payoff we've ever given out. I mean, between, Mobile Solutions and Kicker, I think we'll let this contest go. We'll get back to you guys and let you know when it's going to end. But Bill has actually got October 5th. Hey, they've already decided they're going to run till October 5th.
All right.
So enter the Master Tech Expo contest. There you go, the Kicker giveaway. You have till October 5th to register for this absolutely incredible grand prize. So that's going to be exciting. And, the fun thing is we get to go.
Wow. October 4th. Okay, October 4th. We've been corrected. What?
It'll be announced on the...
Announced, okay.
So the final registration will be October 4th. We will announce the winner on the October 5th show. So
awesome.
That'll be exciting. I think we need to have you on tap for that too, Brian, since you're part of the
there.
giveaway.
Let's do it. Good stuff.
Wow, that's exciting.
So what was your first fabricated item, Brian? When you think back, what was the first thing you actually built with your hands or modified as far as a car audio system? I don't know if I can't even remember back that far. It's been so long.
I'll tell you, I had a big Majestic EQ, and I had 4 6x9s on this rear deck, and my dad just said, "Son, you just gonna keep adding another wire to the battery? Why don't you work on your engine?" He's a mechanic, so the first thing I built was 4 6x9s in a rear deck. That's my very first project.
That's awesome. What kind of car was that?
A Ford Fiesta that I bought for $200.
They had a big enough rear deck to do that?
I was 14.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. When I was in junior high wood shop, we did a lot of wood projects, and we could choose anything we wanted, so I decided to build a pair of speakers. And that was my junior high woodworking project. And
nice.
I didn't know a lot about acoustics or anything. I just knew kind of what I saw that I liked. And I kind of, back then, we're talking the 70s, I always liked the looks of the Klipsch Lascalas.
Oh, yeah.
So I built these speakers that here it is, 40 some years later. And I remember they were 36 inches tall, 28 inches wide, and 20 inches deep. They had realistic, if you guys remember Radio Shack, it had a realistic 15-inch woofer, their little 2-inch, soft dome mid-range, and their little, bullet tweeters. That was the whole system. And I did not know how to finish anything. I didn't know how to carpet. I didn't know how to do veneer. I mean, I'm 11 years old. So I literally went to the fabric store. Of course, this is the 70s, remember, guys. Got some blue half-inch long fur with chrome thumbtacks and just wrapped the material around these speakers. And the strangest thing was, I actually owned them for like 6 weeks. And when my buddy just kept pestering the heck out of me, he bought them for $450.
Hey, John,
that was a lot of money back then.
Did you sell like a pick or a comb with it to go with it?
I probably should have. I hadn't even thought that far. But I still have pictures of these speakers. So the funny thing is, I didn't know anything about ports. So, the next set, I thought, okay, I want to make them better. So what I thought I'd do, just, here again, if you don't know, you try things and you learn what works and what doesn't. I built kind of the same set, but I built the speakers 4 inches deeper, and I built not really a transmission line, because it just basically had a chamber in behind the woofer that had a slot at the top, which was 2 by 6 inches, and then it had a 2 by 6 inch slot at the back that I loaded these things into the quarter, and it actually did help. It's like, well, that's kind of cool. Look what else. That's how I got the excitement learning, about speakers and how you can change the sound, and it just, it's all about your passion, about just having fun with it. And I've always said, if you have fun with what you're doing, you'll never work a day in your life, and if you have fun doing it, keep doing it, keep learning.
Yes.
There's no end to what we can do, and the technology that's out there and the tools that are available. I'm so jealous. I mean, because we didn't have any of this back then. We had
no internet.
Yeah, well, we didn't have routers when I was doing it. I mean, Jigsaw. Everything was corded. You had to run an extension cord everywhere, and the tools weren't great. But it is so cool to have the access and the ability to the tools. And not only, Brian, are you offering schooling and tools, but you also offer a big array of installation supplies. Not just the tools, but the materials needed to put the systems together. What other items do you offer besides tools and schooling?
The perforated mesh is a big seller. We actually have some custom made, and it's a fine diamond. It's like for a European car, and we sell a lot of it. It's really, really popular. Lots of glues, CA glues and tapes, and just a whole variety of consumables that I think are important for what we do.
I know you offer plastics and materials and just all kinds of cool stuff. And I'm looking up the clock here right above our TV, and it looks like it's contest closing time, guys. So Bill's going to do some computations back there and get back to us with the winners here in a little bit. But the contest has ended for right now. Now, not the contest to win the trip to the Master Tech Expo. That's going to go on until October 4th.
Announced October 5th.
Yeah,
right away.
I almost feel bad doing this without Kip being here.
Really?
Yeah, I just, because he's going to be the one that's going to have to explain, the budget, why we spent all this money.
Oh, there is that. Yeah.
It's like, well, you turn these monkeys loose on the set, with an open checkbook. So
we need some questions.
I'm
now.
out of the studio for 2 days, 2 shows, and you guys blow it up.
Someone had to do it. This is our way of saying, don't let us back or we'll do it again.
Yeah.
Oh, Kip, I know you don't mind. I know you would have done it if you were here. And like I say, and we did it because we could, and because Brian's jumping in, we're going to jump in, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Like I say, we are definitely going to change somebody's life with this one, and I hope for the better. Hopefully, they end up keeping all their fingers. I mean, that's the nice thing about all the safety tools, which I haven't had.
Hey, John, there's a question directed at you.
Yep, we need it. We're going to go to some questions on the board.
Look at that.
All right, John, I have a question. Why does my system hit twice as hard when my car is hot on the inside? That's very interesting. Usually it's the other way around because, as air gets warmer, it's not as dense. So I actually have no answer. What do you think, Brian? You got an answer for that one? That's kind of a trick question.
Are the windows up or down? Is there stuff like that? Is it
there's
exactly
a lot of variables?
Yeah. If the windows are up or down, I think that actually can change the acoustics big time.
You start talking about letting some of those reflective waves out.
Yeah.
And, I've often said you put a sealed box in a vehicle and roll a window down, you're basically sitting inside a bandpass box.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Yeah. So I would look at that. I don't know about the temperature change. I mean, here cars get 160 degrees, and I don't think my base is, and that's legit inside your car. But I don't see the bass getting any hotter or louder. It's just hot as shit. So
yeah, I'm almost wondering if you're so hot that you're just so exhausted, it just feels like it's because you're just drained. It's just beating the crap out of you.
Well, not that this would ever happen, but if you ever listen to your car audio system or your home audio system when you're slightly inebriated, it needs to be louder just to enjoy it.
Oh,
so maybe
yeah.
there's something to do with alcohol or something in that.
Yeah, I hate to admit this, but me and one of my best friends, I used to have this little '85 Chevy Cavalier with a sunroof, and that was my first real high-end car audio system. And actually, I didn't build it. One of the guys that owned a shop in Lincoln, where I was at, taught me, and I actually worked for a company called World Radio when I was 16 to 19. And he taught me just giving him the car and letting him go. And he actually put two 10-inch woofers in a sealed box, and he did, a set of, 4-inch with separate tweeters. It was the first high-end system I ever had. But it had this Kenwood 447, KGC 447 push-button equalizer that I put in one of the air conditioning vents and molded in the dash. So I remember, we went out one night, and Rod was driving my car, and, we were just having a great time. And, we had the sunroof off. We had the windows down. We got up the next morning. It was like 28 degrees. So it had been cold that night, and the equalizer, the bass was all the way up, the treble was all the way down. Like, who was listening to this thing last night? Oh yeah, we were. So yeah, definitely, your state of mind definitely changes how and what you listen to. But that's not a bad thing. So too cool. All right. So, any other good questions we got popping up there? We haven't given people a lot of chance to ask questions, but we sure will. And as we got Jeremy back there scrolling through, Brian, you got anything else you want to add? Any other cool things that you got coming up, or any other cool tools you haven't mentioned that you want people to know about? I mean, we could go on for days with all the tools you have.
We really could. We really could play arts and crafts for a while, but I do have some new tools coming out. It's a little too soon to say, but we're always working on something new, and it's going to be exciting. I think that the industry is going to like it, so it's going to be good.
And it's always exciting. And I think, you've also touched on something a little bit ago, which is interesting. You start talking about, welding and, aluminum and some of the, metal work. And there was a day when, hooking up audio was just, a matter of connecting wires. But with car audio anymore, it's fully self-expression. It's fully custom. You have to know how to weld. You have to know how to do fiberglass. You have to know how to paint. You have to know how to do upholstery. You have to know how to, anything like that, unless you have someone that you can pay to do it, or someone you trust. And that's one of the things that why I do what I do, is I didn't have those people available, and it just seemed like no one did it the way I wanted it done. So that's how I learned to do it. And there's a lot of people out there that are really, setting the bar high. And I really encourage you guys, if you've never been on some of these Facebook sites like, Carbide Cult and the Clean Wire Club, and there's a lot of them out there, there's some really, really cool installs. And I bet there isn't a single one of those really high-end cool installs that does not use anything from Brian.
Speaking of Brian, there's a question directed at Brian. Brian, you got to offer L7 templates like JL?
We are working on this. I've talked to John about this a few times, but we do need to make it come to fruition and have a whole line of templates. I have had quite a few people ask me about this. So if when people ask and we get enough people, I do listen, and we will come out with something. I would look to about SEMA. We'll have some stuff for you guys. SEMA is when we usually launch a lot of new products. So yeah, it's good stuff. And to add what you're saying, John, we actually have a VIP club for all of our mobile solution guys. So if you want to look at our Facebook as well, yeah. So it's called Mobile Solutions VIP, and we'd love to have you. There's no credentials. Just come on, put in your request, and we'd love to have you. Say you're on the show, or just put in KICKER, and we'll add you to it. There's good, 4,500 guys in there. So,
cool. And do I have to use an alias, or will you let me in too?
I thought you were already in there, but
well, obviously not. Dang it!
Yeah, anyone's welcome. We'd love to have you guys. So.
Well, and the cool thing about this industry is there's so many great people like you that want to teach people and want to help, and Mark especially, and both Mark Fukuda, and once again, it's great to be a part of something that people like to I mean, it's friendly competition, and there is no right, there is no wrong. I mean, everybody's got their own opinions, but it's self-expression, and that's one of the reasons why I really hung out in car audio when I started doing retail sales 16 18-year-old in high school, we had home and car audio. I always hung out in the car audio. It was more fun. Of course, that's where all the kids were that I went to school with, and the old guys were, sitting back in the listening room watching movies. But, home audio, is pretty much the same rack system you put in a house. It's the same system wherever you put it. With car audio, every time you take the same gear and put it in 5 different cars, not only can you put it in the 3 different ways we talked about, but it's going to sound completely different in every car because of the acoustics of the vehicle. And I'm sure that's, other things that you guys teach in the audio classes is, speaker placement, obviously, and, the acoustics of the vehicle. And there's so many little things, and just learning simple little tricks like, even the polarity checker, making sure your speakers are, in the proper polarity makes such a huge difference in the end. But, you put it all together and it makes it a lot of fun. And I think, vehicles are getting better acoustically. I mean, the OEM guys are, really making a lot of, improvements in their audio systems, but that's just helping us push that bar higher and helping Brian, with his classes and tools and showing people, hey, they're doing some pretty good stuff too, but we can do that much better. And I think, with the YouTube stuff and the Facebook stuff, I mean, it really is driving the high-end audio market, and people are starting to realize that, hey, it's got to sound good. And that's one of the biggest things that I, talk to people about in, my classes is when you're doing a demonstration, you want to use a good recorded source. You don't want to use anything compressed. You want to use a good pair of speakers. You want people to listen to something they haven't heard every day. You don't want them to remember how it sounded on another system. It should be dynamic. It should be, exciting, but it should be unique. And, we're going to find that this industry is going to continue to grow. I mean, I can't believe, like the whole, year and a half that we've had. It's just been amazing. I remember walking through the warehouse, right out these stores there, and there's nothing left. You guys have bought it all. I mean, we're, just, it's crazy, how many people are really, finding out that, now that they've got nothing else to spend money on. Wow, car audio is fun. It is exciting. It doesn't have to hurt my ears. It doesn't have to look like, someone stuffed a huge, big old, plywood box in the back of a trunk and let it go. So, and that's what, is really exciting, is having the ability, the tools, and the people that are willing to teach you how to use it. It's a fun industry. I don't think we could be in a better place at a better time right now.
Brian, I got a question for you.
Okay.
So you've trained thousands of people.
Tens of thousands.
Tens of thousands.
Yeah, don't sell them short.
What is a very common misconception that guys will come into your class with, and then once they leave your class, it's like, wow, you blew my mind. I always thought this was true, but it wasn't. What is something that comes to mind right off the top of your head?
Can I show you some hand gestures? It's this.
Yeah. I know everything.
Okay, so it's this guy. It's this guy on the back row, and he's like, I've been doing this for X amount of years. What are you going to teach me? And I promise you, by lunchtime, every class, they're going, oh shit, maybe I don't know everything. Maybe there is a different way. And we just do it really nicely because nobody knows everything. But I guarantee you, your process, you haven't figured everything out. Nobody has. But the way we teach it, and we just kind of set the bar of everybody is equal, and we all, like I said, we all put our pants on the same way. And so I just get a lot of those egos, and it always seems like the guys that don't come to class are the ones that need to come the most. John knows this. Oh, yeah. You guys are both trainers, but yes. it's the guys that are in the front row.
Go to class.
Yeah, those guys don't even need to be there because they already know anything. It's the guys that are skeptics and they've always done this a certain way, and I hate it when someone says, well, I've always done it this way. I cringe because there's always a better way. There's always a smarter way. There's a clever way to do it. And there might be 5 ways to do it. And if you combine 3 of the 5, and now you're on a new level, you're building your mental toolbox. Yeah. And you're just keep building this. This is the most important. And so if this is blocked and I'm doing this, I can't learn anything. And I think that's the biggest. Right. That's the biggest thing is if guys can't accept new knowledge, and even the littlest things, it's the smallest things on where to get that blue shag to do those speaker boxes with the pick and comb. That's a little thing. I'm not going to forget that.
Hobby Lobby.
Yeah. Those little things add up to a lot.
Pictures of those and show them.
You got to. You've got to. But I mean, you got to take all those things and combine it. But to answer the question, I just think it's guys not being accepting to learn, or the idea, and every single time they'll leave going, oh my God, I've been doing it wrong for so many years. So it's not wrong, it's just the hard way. If you're putting a bunch of rocks in your backpack and walking around all day, that's not easy. So take the rocks out, do it the easy way, and make some money.
You know, and you're exactly right. And I'll give you, personal experience in which, if you guys watched the show last week, we talked about the fit inputs.
Oh, yeah.
You know, for 30 years, I did everything preamp, everything RCA, and then everything changed. And I had to, adopt, the fit inputs, and I had to do my first install. In the back of my mind, exactly like Brian said, I'm like, this isn't going to work. I'm going to hate it, but I have to do it because I have to talk about it. And I did it, and I'm like, oh, wow, that actually worked pretty good. So I said, all right, I'm going to do another one. The first one, it was a fluke, not a big deal, I'll just do another one. Something will go wrong. No, it worked too. By the third time, that's all it took. I mean, you got to open your mind, because even us old guys have been doing stuff forever. I mean, the tools that are out there. And I think something else that's going to be interesting that we haven't even talked about much, Brian, is, the CNC end of, with the lasers and the routers. I mean, and you've got classes for that stuff as well.
We do. We've been doing.
That's what I want to learn personally.
I've had automation for over 13 years now, and we haven't talked about it. When I say automation, that's lasers, CNCs, reverse engineering. All this kind of goes together. We really haven't taught that. We've taught more of an analog kind of database, and with this expo, it's kind of changed my mindset. Is like, I think it's time. So we are legitimately going to have some of the best, Jeremy Carlson from Avant-Garde, Jeremy Katz. I've got Scott Whitehead. All these guys are going to be teaching and sharing their knowledge and tricks. Tom Miller on automation. So we're going to actually open that door up and go, you know what? This is how you do it. This is what you need. And along with that, we've got the best partners. We've got Cam Master CNCs on site with CNCs there. I'll have Universal Lasers there with 7 or 8 machines ready to sell, demonstrating Korean form scanners. We'll have Big Rep 3D printing company. They're going to be printing, John, an entire dashboard live at the show that we scan. So when you say, yeah, we're going to get into it, we're going in and we're going to kick down the front door and really show guys how to do it. And so far, it's my number one sold class. Like, when I say we're halfway full, this class will sell out, and it is the number one recommended and chosen class right now. It's called Master Design. It's on the expo, and it is going fast. So if you guys are on the fence, I would do it, because
fall off on the right side.
yeah, it's gonna be good. So we're excited. So I hope that answered your question about CNCs and automation.
A question for you. Brody Beck's asking, are the classes for CNC basic or advanced? Because he says he needs a basic understanding of operation of a CNC. Does he need to know the basics first, or can he start out as a novice?
He absolutely can learn the basics. So we're going to walk through, like I said, the complexity throughout the day will get more and more. So as the day progresses, so does the complexity. And we're trying to hit the curve of everybody. Beginners to ninjas, if you will, and so it's in between there, and we're just going to show a range of stuff. Some of the stuff it might just overwhelm you, but at least you'll be exposed to it. But we will cover the fundamentals of it, and there's going to be guys on site like Cam Master CNCs, and those guys can walk you through it as well. They actually do on-site training if you buy one of their machines. So there's a lot of options there. I just think being exposed to it, you can't help but not learn. So don't go into it going, I don't want to be overwhelmed or it's going to be confusing. Look at it as like, even if I don't understand everything, I'll retain some of it, and I'll come back to it and I'll think about it and I'll learn down the road. So, it's going to be great.
And I think the cool thing about, coming to something like this is, being open-minded and realizing there's so much out there. And even if you don't know it all, it tells you that, hey, there's a long way to go to learn. Yeah. I mean, there's so many things that you could just start at an entry level and build upon. So, and that's what makes this industry really exciting. So talking about, building and going on, where do you think we're going to be in 5 or 10 years, Brian, with this whole car audio thing?
Well,
Putting you on the spot on that one because I sure don't have a clue after what's been going on lately.
I personally think the products are going to get better. They're going to continue to get better, smaller, lightweight, less current, and I think it's all going to be about lifestyle. And if it doesn't make your life better, you're not going to want to put it in a car. Period. So if it doesn't enhance your life somehow, I just think that the rest of it's not going to mean as much. And I think you guys would agree with that. Is you're seeing if it doesn't pair with this, it's not a lifestyle thing. So more devices like that are going to help us in the future. And then automation,
a lot more networking,
a lot more networking for sure. And then the automations, it is going to grow. The router tables and all of our fundamental stuff, I always call that the foundation. And these are more tools that go on top of it. You've got to know that foundation before you can go to those next levels. But, I think you're going to see just, more integrated things, just more high end and clever ways to do stuff, and kind of less outrageous, more OE that is going to help people's lifestyles. That's my take on it.
One of the things that excites me about semi-autonomous and fully autonomous cars is more opportunity to listen to the audio, to really just sit there and just experience a high-quality audio system without having to think about stop sign, red light, kid running across it, there's a dog, there's a squirrel. You can just focus on the high-quality audio and just be immersed in a surround sound experience, and that's what excites me about the future of cars.
Yeah, well, in fact, the last SEMA that we went to, one of the big categories of vehicles where there were just basically people movers.
Yes.
I mean, it's just, a box with a bunch of seats in it, that was all autonomous driving. But, how cool would it be to, basically have a whole concert in your car?
Yeah.
You get in the car, you punch in the coordinates or you tell the car where you want to go.
Yeah.
And the windows go dark and, the screen pops up and the whole just concert just appears in your car and you kick back and you listen to Pink Floyd and you go through that experience. Then you get there and the windows go back light and you get blinded by the sunlight and reality hits you again. It's
you wake up in Vegas.
I want to go back to listening to the music. God, I hope none of us ever do that again. All right,
good stuff,
that's
guys.
Pretty exciting. Well, I think we're getting pretty close. We better start announcing some contest winners.
Prizes.
So we got a few things to give away, which obviously including the wonderful, router shield. So, Aaron, and Bill, let's go ahead and find out who is our third prize winner. Third winner is Brian P. from Texas. How many Brian P's from Texas can there be? So if you're Brian P. from Texas, you want to make sure you email us with your name, phone number, your shirt size, your shipping address. It cannot be a P.O. box. And Bill's going to put up on the screen where you need to email. And if I remember right, it is social@kicker.com. So email all that information, Brian P. from Texas. And I'm sure if there's multiple Brian P.'s from Texas, Bill's got the correct email of who is supposed to be the winner. So that's a little vague on Brian P. from Texas. So. And let's go for winner number 2. Who's going to win the key lock? Going to win the
Lily A. from Florida.
Lily A. She's winning a key lock. She's winning the T-shirt, and she's going to win the koozie. So that
Lily
is the
A.
second prize drawing. Grand prize drawing. And you can see the names up there, can't you, Brian?
I can.
I'm going to let you go ahead and announce the grand prize winner since that's one of your giveaways. And thank you again for doing that for us. That is really awesome.
You bet.
So, Bill, put up the winner. The grand prize winner, which is going to win Brian's wonderful tool, is going to be
Chris O. from Georgia.
Chris
awesome.
O.
Congratulations, Chris
O.
O. from Georgia. Like I say, make sure you
Congrats.
guys social@kicker.com. We need your full name, your address, your phone number, your shirt size, and make sure it is not a P.O. box. And along with that, Brian, it's been awesome having you on the show. And like I say, we need to do this more because, the events when we run into each other, we don't get this type of time to talk.
That's true.
You usually got 8 or 10 guys standing around you, and I usually got people calling me to get back to the booth because they're waiting for me back there. So. But looking forward to seeing you again at SEMA, and obviously definitely looking forward to seeing you at the Master Tech Expo in March. That is going to be awesome. And I say this is going to be the tip of the iceberg of things that are going to come, because this industry has needed something like this. I mean, SEMA is cool, but it's not specifically focused on what we're doing. So,
Brian, any final thoughts? Anything you want to add before we kick you out of here?
Hey, you guys have been a blast. I've truly enjoyed it. I would be honored to be back anytime. Just let me know. And what a great community you have. So thank you again.
Absolutely. And I think we've extended the invitation for you to actually come out to our facility several times over the past couple of years.
I'm coming.
Are you going to take us up on that one of these days?
I am.
All right. 'Cause I've seen your facility, and it's amazing. I want you to come see what we got to offer here, because this really is the coolest house that Car Audio has built.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Love it.
Good night, Brian.
All right, guys. Take care. We'll see you next time, huh?
See ya.
Sounds good.
Take care.
That was awesome. So thanks to Brian. I think we had a fun show. I wish Kip could have been here, but he was here in spirit. I see his name sitting down there. So I think that's pretty much it for tonight. Unless anybody else has got any questions, make sure you hit the like button that you see popping up so you can subscribe.
Subscribe.
Like I say, we want to know what your thoughts are. If you got any other topics or comments you want to make on the show, or if things you like, things you didn't like, let us know. Like I say, we want to keep doing this. We want to keep having fun doing car audio, because I don't know about you, I've seen those guys do concrete and roofing. I don't want to get a real job.
Yeah,
so this is so
way
much more fun.
All right, everybody. Thank you very much. You'll see Kip next time.
Yep, and thanks again, once again, to Brian. I keep thanking him for that. That is just incredible what he has offered. You think we're going to get in trouble for ponying up the airfare and the hotel? I don't either. I think this is somebody deserves that, and like I say, we're going to make a Kicker fan out of them one way or another.
We're in it to win it.
Yes, we are. Thank you, guys. Have a good night, and we'll look forward to seeing you again. Same bat time, same bat channel. Probably be a different Batman and Robin up here. You never know. We might be back. Just, Kip may decide he's having so much fun on vacation, he's going to turn around and go back. I hope not, because we sure like having him here on the show. So.
All right.
That is it, guys. Thanks again. And once again, any questions, support@kicker.com. Check out our website. And like I say, another fun little tool is if you get into the App Store, we've got the Kicker U, the paid version, which is a great tool for learning and testing and, box calculations, wiring diagrams, power wire all that good stuff. So check out our app online. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
See ya.